Hey guys, this is Impauldio here, and it is time for a deck profile. This time it is Impauldio. Yeah, so found a great deal to get the core for cheap. And speaking of cheap, this is actually more budgeted as compared to my other builds. So I will tell you what decks you can, what cards you can swap out to make this a little more viable in like a competitive setting, and at the same time saving a little bit of money while you're at it. So without further ado, let's go on deck profile. So let's start with the right deck first. The right deck is pretty straightforward. I mean, starter, boss leader, any starter you want, doesn't matter. You're a great one, Impauldio. So Impauldio skill is that when this unit is when you write Tomo grade 0, you reveal Impauldio from the right deck, and then you get the system Exceed token. So basically it's a token set order, and essentially what set order does is that if you take a damage, you get the final power if it's not a trigger, and you have 3 or less cards in your automatic gauge zone. If you have 4 or more cards in your automatic gauge zone, regardless of what you damage check, you will get a 5k anyway. So yeah, but essentially every time you do a damage check, you pretty much put a card from a drop with statistical skill into the automatic gauge zone. So that's what it is. Grade 2, I run Thoracic Evolia. So the rest of our skills, when this unit is rolled upon by a grade 0 grade 3 Impauldio, you may look at the card deck. You may take the top card deck and put it as an automatic gauge. Then you can take any of the gauges in the automatic gauge zone and you take it back to your hand. You may. It's not a must to take it back. It's a may. So don't think it's actually supposed to take one back. You don't take one back. And of course, the main star to show that is Destined Exceedance Impauldio. So Impauldio's skill is that act on Vanguard once per turn, combat 1, choose a card from a drop and put it as an automatic gauge. You then look at the top 5 of your cards of the deck, choose up to 1 card that's grade 3 or lower, call it Vanguard and shuffle the deck. And then at the end of this turn, Impauldio gets the front row gets plus 5k for every 2 automatic gauges you have. So pretty much this deck is very defensive in its own way. At the same time, it's offensive once you hit the right conditions. Alright, and now here's the divine skill of Impauldio. Impauldio's divine skill is auto act on Vanguard if your opponent is grade 3 or greater. And if you have 4 or more automatic gauges, you can come on one discard card, and for this turn, this unit gets a crit and 2 drives. So 2 crits, 4 drives basically. Usually I would do that just to, if I need more draw power, or if I feel like I can't finish my opponent off. So same reason why in Dayusha, like you want to bind your Gratian so if you know you can kill the opponent off on time. But outside this one, this is a little more defensive than in like a more balanced like Dayusha, for example. So for sure I did do a deck profile of Dayusha, but it did not upload, unfortunately. Okay, so for the main deck, you got 3 personal rights, nothing special here, not gonna say much here. And then for the other backup grade 3 I ran, where is the other one? Where did it go? He was under the Impauldio for long. Okay, so we have 4/1/4 of the Vinsta. So Vinsta is, well, it's your very good support for Impauldio. His skill is that continuous on rigor circle during your turn. If you have 2 or more cards in your auto gauge, this unit gets 5k, and if you have 8 or more, this unit's drive cannot be reduced. So essentially, you want to combo Impauldio's divine skill with Vinster's I'll say it's Vinster's full potential skill, really. So second skill, auto rigor circle. When this unit attacks, if you have 4 more cards in your automatic gauge, you may when this unit attacks for that battle and it's not drive checked for this turn, you combat 1. For this battle, this unit can drive check and gets minus drive 1. At the end of the battle, you bind this unit. So you cannot pull 2 at once. So you can only, like, if I'm not mistaken, you can only have only 1 drive check at a time. You can't do like 2 minister at the same time, which I think I made a mistake while I was testing out the deck somewhere halfway through. So try not to do that mistake. And of course, combining this gets extraction turn. Okay, so the other grade 2 I run, okay, in the grade 2s, I run 2 Lady Fencer of by Pro Nebula. A really good card because, and in budget point of view, it's pretty good because essentially I'm playing the so-called quote-unquote Blitz Order variant. So, this, what I'll say is that for this card, pretty good for the most part. So, first skill is when this unit attacks, if you have a Blitz Order in your drop, you can Soul Blast 1, this unit gets 10 for the battle. Second skill, when this unit attacked a attack the Vanguard, you may combat 1, bind her from rear guard. You search your deck for a Blitz Order that is not a Regal's piece, that's grade 2 and higher, put your hand and shuffle your deck. If you have a Blitz Order in your drop zone, you can search for Set Order instead of a Blitz Order. So, I don't want any Set Orders in this deck. This alone is already a Set Order, which is just automatically given when you write from the grade 1. So there's no point for me to play Set Order because there are other cards in the deck I think that will look better. So your main idea is to search for this Blitz Order, which I'll show in a bit. Other grade 2 I run 4 Nebula Invoke Dragon. Nebula Invoke Dragon skill is when this unit attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 for this battle, this unit gets 5,000 power. If you have 5 or more Automat gauges, instead of 5,000, you get 15,000 plus 15,000. So 25 attacker if you have 5 Automat gauges or more. Second skill, Continuous Unguarding Circle. If you have 4 or more Automat gauges, this unit gets 15k shield, so 20k shield, pretty good. So I run at 4 because the deck's more focused on a more defensive build as opposed to an offensive build, so it is what it is. And for the orders, I run 3 of the Fluctuate Buster Barrage, I think it's called. Yeah, this one is the reason why that these two will go longer together. This and that as well. So these all the grade 2s right here pretty much will just synchronize pretty well. So the Blitz Order skill is when you play this Blitz Order, you can actually when you play this Blitz Order, you can take 2 different grade 2s or greater from your drop and put in the ground circle and choose 100 units, and for that battle this unit gets 10 power. So essentially what you can do is you can get like this 10k shield, 30k shield, 35k shield, so pretty much it is what it is. So essentially you need trying to get like one and pro that one here. If you really want to, I'll show you what you can talk about later. So for one, I have 2 refueling stands. So refueling stand is just mainly a draw power and stuff slash soul pumper in for now. I know this is a bit late because I got this recently, so I will do an update when DZ-BT04 comes out. But for the benefit of the English players, I'm trying to show what I can before DZ-BT04 comes out, or DZ-BT04 comes out for them. So the refueling stand skill is you can energy blast 2 to play this card, and you can look top 2 cards of your deck, put one in hand, and put the other on the soul. So this is your soul charger deck technically, and a bit of draw power because you don't use a lot of energy in this deck. So you can play this. I have space to play this, but if you want to make full use out of it, you can take a 1 refueling stand for 1 L-Black Striker just to complement with the Blitz Order, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so you notice in this deck I run most of the support from the set that Impauldio came out. So I have 4 copies of Spacewalk Dragon. Stereo Dragon skill is that when you study on battle this unit boosted, if you have 2 or more Automat gauges, you can put it in your soul, choose one opponent's grade 1 or less rear guards, and retire it. So it's just a soul charger. I'm not playing it because I want to do it for the tracker. I'm just doing it because of soul. Because you just keep in mind the only cards I really use much soul is pretty much your Enable Invoke and your Lady Fencer. There's a few more, but we'll see. We'll go there in a bit. And for now, I'm running 3 Gathered 2/2s. So 2/2 is when during a turn, if you have 4 or more Automat gauges, you just get 10 tons of power. So it is a there's a bit truck outside the house, but okay. So essentially what this does is that it is your 18k booster. So I don't run a lot of it because you don't necessarily need a lot of this, to be honest. So free is enough, and very important because you need Counter Charger, and this is a budget option. I do play free of Mega Gregal. So Mega Gregal skill is when the unit this boost attacks hits, you counter charge 1. Doesn't have to be Vanguard, it can be rear guard as well. So if you can afford more, and I'm not saying you should, if you can't afford it, please don't be stupid and go buy the Boba Mines, because I myself, like, I can't afford the Boba Mines, like $100 for a playset. I cannot afford to throw a lot of money for that. So an alternative is actually the best second option is Mega Gregal. Yes, it does not pump soul, or it's faster than, not as fast as like Boba Mine, but I'll make do what I have, and I would say that it does pretty much work in this case. So countercharge is really important because you this deck does counter blast a lot. It's true in Impauldio and Dinster. So yeah. 3 of the effect PGs and 1 Crest Magnitude. You can run the triple drive, Stand 2 or the Crest Magnitude, that's up to you how you want to play it. Because I feel like when Legendary comes out, I think that might be mostly the problem, but I just don't trust it. So I'm playing the anti-Crest Stand 2 just because. And triggers, I run the Grange OT. You can run anyone, you can run the Valmont if you want to get an extra hit, or if you want it is Faro if you want to get an extra crit with something efficient shot back from your top zone. The black OT or the yellow OT also works fine. If you wish, those 4 book perfectly fine, but because I think the budget option, I think this works fine actually, so I'm just keeping with the other bit for now. Triggers, I run the crits. Again, depending on how you want to play it, you can play the fronts or heals. I mean draw, sorry. So, for now, I'm going to earn the vanilla draws. I will put in the effect draws once I get around to it. And of course the 4 heals. So, pretty much, it is a very straightforward deck. Very defensive, not like the other decks I've played for quite some time. It is much more focused on being more defensive and more, well, hitting for big numbers, and a lot of stalling. So pretty fun deck. I will do an update when DZ-BT04 comes out. But in the meantime, I'm just doing this for the benefit of the English players. So if you guys want any suggestions or any comments, do let me know. And thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. Peace.